What a dude. Walt Disney was a Freemason. And if he wasn't a Freemason, he was heavily influenced by Freemasonry. Here's the opening scene of Monsters, Inc. And before we get into it, that's a 6. That's a 6. And that's a 6. Main theme of it is them opening doors and going indoors and scaring children, where the doors are meant to symbolize portals. Here I'm going to show you. See how that's one version, and there's another version. One world was the human world, or the natural physical world, and the other world, or the other door, is the spiritual world. If you don't know by now, a lot of people are heavily influenced by the occult, Hollywood included. Well, I like to call it Hollyweird. Peep the eye. That eye is also on the dollar bill. You can notice that eye all throughout. It's CBS. They get that, and where it originated from is the Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. Eye of Ra, or the Eye of Horus. Before we delve too deep, I want you guys to know the meaning of the doors. In Roman mythology, or Roman occultism, the god of the doorways was Janus. Peep the 2 heads. Okay. Janus was the god of doors, gates, and transitions. Janus represented the middle ground between both concrete and abstract dualities, such as life, death, beginning, end, youth, adulthood, rural, urban, war, peace, barbarism, and civilization. Roman mythology, like all mythology for the most part, stems from the Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. It all has an origin. They all bite from one another. All these different gods, when you get down to the story, they damn near the same. It all comes back to the same 3 people, which originated in Babylon. But let's get into the film. This opening scene here, let me pause it. This opening scene here is a simulation, mind you. Just like the ending scene is going to be a simulation. So remember, the god of Janus was the god of doorways and transitions and dualities, beginning and end. It started as a simulation and is going to end as a simulation. And peep the monster coming through the door or the portal, you feel me? And the monsters really are supposed to be adults, but that's a different topic. Y'all see that? The 2 giraffe heads? That's paying homage to Janus. I'm going to zoom in on that later on. So he came through the door, the portal. Remember Janus with the 2 heads. Now, peep the giraffe with the 2 heads. Some people going to say that's just a coincidence, but there are no coincidences. So boom, they giving him the rundown on what he did wrong in his simulation.
I fell down?
No, before that. Can anyone tell me Mr. Biles' big mistake? Anyone?
Peep the eyes. This corporation pretty much let you know that that is pretty much influenced by the occult. Like a lot of corporations in the real world will do, they have symbols to let people in the know that, yeah, I'm down with the program. You have Waternoose the Third, which is like a spider or some type of crab down there, wearing the black, white, and red colors for the black mass, which a lot of Satanists fucking rock, even the Catholic Church. Spiders in mythology could be considered good or evil. They could be considered helpful and wise, or they could be considered evil and cunning. Mr. Waternoose was considered both helpful and wise because he was providing scream energy for the whole town. You know what I'm saying? Providing his monsters with employment, you know what I'm saying? That could be considered helpful. But what we ultimately found out was he was running a whole operation kidnapping children. So that's evil and cunning.
Water news.
There's nothing more toxic or deadly than a human child. A single touch could kill you. Leave a door open and a child could walk right into this factory, right into the monster world. I won't go in a kid's room. You can't make me.
Notice how he was telling all of them propaganda, because we later find out during the movie that humans can interact with the monsters. They not that dangerous. So he was selling them propaganda just like they do in real life. Sell us propaganda. The major corporations who fund all of these politicians, it's real big business. And he ran a big business. It was in his father's corporation. It was in his family name. You know what I'm saying? He Mr. Waternoose the third.
You can't make me. You're going in there because we need this. Our city is counting on you to collect those children's screams. Without Scream, we have no power. Yes, it's dangerous work, and that's why I need you to be at your best. I need scarers who are confident, tenacious, tough, intimidating. I need scarers like James P. Sullivan.
So they call this red liquid Scream. And it's released off as a gas. And as he releases the gas, it sounds like a child being tortured or a child being scared using their language. They're scaring children, but in reality, what's going on is they're torturing children. This is just a subliminal way to show us what's really going on behind closed doors. No pun intended. When people typically scream, they scream out of fear or excitement. Hence the duality. And like the god of doorways, which they was paying homage to, Janus, in the beginning they were using scream, pain, to power or get their source. And in the end, they started using excitement to get their source or their energy or their scream. This red liquid, out of all colors, red, right? And then they getting it from children by making them scream, right? They believe in real life this pink adrenaline provides them with health benefits. And unbeknownst to a lot of people, many of the occultic practices involve sacrificing children. 2 Kings chapter 17, verse 16 through 18. I'm going to read 16 and 17. And they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Sully is Baal. Or you can consider him Pan. This is Baal or the Baphomet. They all the same shit, just different names, because remember the languages got mixed up. When they were building the Tower of Babel and the Most High seen it, he said, "Go to, let us go down," to his angels. Let us go down there and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So you got to know that it's all just the same shit, just a different language. They got the worshiping in different regions for telling the same stories over and over again. Here's Pan. So they can be Pan as well. And we can't forget about Mike Wazowski with the one eye. And peep that they both had horns. You know what I'm saying? Both of the main characters had horns. And horns are a sign of rulership. But they also can be a sign for some demonic ass shit as well. Baal